There's hope in autoethnography. Hi, I'm Carolina Pastrana Medina, and I'm 21 years old, currently a junior and a transfer student. I got accepted to the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. My main purpose for this whole project is to break the stigma about academic warning because not so many people know about this. And also, you'll be able to listen to me and to more people about their experience. And also, you'll get to know about the resources that are available for you. Talking about my experience, the way I've gone through academic warning. Academic warning, it is a really scary thing. And many people don't know about this. And the purpose of this whole project basically is to break that stigma that people that are on academic warning are not smart enough, or like however some people say it, we're like dumb, and we're really not. We just had problems, either academic problems, personal problems. Everybody has different reasons why they're on academic warning. So, in deciding what to talk about for this whole project, really, I was thinking about, so am I part of a community? Because I guess being a transfer student, it's really hard to find a community like right off the bat. But in a weird way, yeah, I was part of academic warning. So it is a group of students, and I was part of it, so I guess I was part of that community. I know what you're thinking. It's not your dream goal, because it wasn't for me either. But I was part of it, and I had to embrace it, really. It was a really tough journey for me, because at the beginning I thought I was alone. I thought I was isolated, and I just felt like that dumb kid in the classroom. But let's face it, you're not the only one. And that's what actually helped me to get through it, knowing that I wasn't the only one. But I also had to put some effort into it. And, if you feel like that, don't worry, really. Like I said, you're not the only one. From this big campus, I know, really big campus, you feel like that dumb kid, you're not, okay? You're just a student who had a small bump on the road. So it's okay. You'll recover. I know you will. And think about it. Once you're done with it, you can have a really amazing story about how you had a little small bump on the road and then got back. And I guess that's the best experience that you could ever have. And also, you know what? You'll be able to listen to me and to other people talk about what they experience, because you might even find that some of their experiences might be even similar to yours. So hopefully this helps you. And you're gonna know about the Bounce Back program and what it brings. And hopefully you'll be part of the Bounce Back program like I was. And this will help you so much. I guarantee it. And hopefully, you get a little bit of something from this video. And yeah, so don't worry, you'll do good. So it all started, I'm a transfer student, so when I came here to Carolina, I came from a 4-year institution, so I wasn't a community college student, and I knew how all this worked, really. But as a transfer student coming from a 4-year university, I'm like, I got this together. I know what I have to do. I didn't. And, I had to, I guess, evaluate everything once again when I came here. And I thought I knew what I was doing. I'm like, I got this. I'm gonna take 2 science courses, because I've done all of these sciences already, so I got this. And then I'm gonna take these other courses, and when you come here, you don't know the professors, you don't know anybody, so you don't even know what you're getting yourself into. And in a way, I got myself into hard classes. But I did it. And when it started, okay, science courses, struggling. And then towards the middle, that's when I became a bit anxious. We're always anxious, but that moment in time, that's when another different type of anxiety came into my life. And I was struggling. I wasn't telling anybody, because I got this, that kind of attitude, and I wasn't looking for help. Then that's something really important that I learned through all this experience. Looking for help. Probably if I would have gotten the help that I needed last semester, I wouldn't be in academic learning. But I didn't, and it kept getting worse and worse. And then my mental health started getting worse too. So I had academic problems and mental health problems at the same time, and I wasn't getting help. And then at the end, it ended up being terrible. I failed. I got an F on a science course and a D on another science course, and that was enough to get me into academic learning. And I was really in a bad place that semester, fall 2016. And I started having these worries about telling my parents. That was something really hard for me, because I didn't want to disappoint my parents, and it was really hard for me. I would cry every single day here because it was so hard for me. And I would have, one time I was on the floor just crying myself out because it was hard. I had no idea what to do, really, and I'm sorry for tearing up, but every time I go back to it, it's really hard for me to remember that, because I was such in a bad place, because I wasn't used to being this student that failed. Failure is something, nobody looks forward for failure, and I didn't want to fail. I didn't want to fail my parents. And just coming here, all the sacrifices they have made to put me in here, and that I'm failing, that was something really hard. And whenever before telling my parents, I even asked some friends of, okay, what should I do? I went to advising as well, and they were like, you should tell your parents. And I was like, okay, I will. And it was hard for me because I was going through this, from the middle of fall 2016. I was just declining academically and emotionally, and I would be every single day just crying about it. I was so depressed. I wasn't getting any help at all. And then when it came to that moment to tell my parents, I kind of had to take that mask off, because every time I would talk to my parents, I would have this mask on. And I'm like, everything's fine. I took the mask off whenever I would finish the call with them. And we would FaceTime, so they see my face, obviously. And it was hard. And when I told them, my first thought was, oh my gosh, what are they gonna say? Are they just gonna be mad at me? Or they were actually so supportive. They were just, worried. That's what they were. They were really worried about me. But are you fine? I kind of teared up in front of them. I came here, I was really positive. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this. I got this. Okay. So, and I got the email also. Forgot to mention that, the email during winter break. So it's like, you're on academic warning. Yay, Merry Christmas. So, that kind of pushed me a little bit, but I was like, okay, no, but you're going forward, you got this. And I was motivating myself. And, having a 1.571 GPA, that's not the best news you want to get, right? But I was like, okay, now I have to work really hard. And so the semester started really positive. I bought a lot of stuff, from like my studying habits. I wanted to create new study habits, and I even bought like colored pens. So I kind of do my reviews in color pens, so it can be like, very like, the colors will just like, stick out, and I can like process the information instead of just like everything in just one color. And I'm like, no, okay, let's just do another thing. So I started doing that, taking notes in colors, recording classes, all that, and first exam. So, and this is more for my science courses, because other non-science courses I'm doing really good. So I'm like, okay, just my science courses. And so I start doing everything, homework, the guided reading questions, everything they have, and get my first exam. I failed. Great. Okay. So clearly I need to do something else. So at that point, I got really stressed. I got really sad. I was like, okay, I think I'm just gonna go to, and also I did I did went to undergraduate retention, and that's part of the process of academic learning. You got to do a couple stuff before that, and I got a meeting with them, and we made some goals. One of them was to go to CAPS, and I decided to go to CAPS because I knew emotionally I wasn't stable, and also I wasn't sleeping during the night. I could be just lying on my bed for 3 hours just awake, just waiting to fall asleep. But I was worrying all the time, and I was like, I need to go to CAPS because this is not healthy. I'm not getting any sleep. I'm not functioning well. I'm very stressed during classes. Like every day, it's like a 24/7 thing. I'm worrying all the time. And, it's really hard. And that's when I went to CAPS. And when I went there, so I had this walking appointment, and later on they gave me an appointment with another therapist. And I was really looking forward for that meeting. And then that's when I met my therapist, Kyle. He's amazing. He from the beginning, he's been really understanding. And we were able to find solutions for a couple stuff, really. Especially with my sleep. Because I was worrying all the time, and that's not healthy to not sleep because you're worrying. And it's like, I really wanted to go to sleep, but I couldn't. And then that's when he told me about melatonin, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna look into that. And melatonin, it's like a vitamin, basically. It's a natural way. It doesn't like knock you down. It's more like it relaxes you. And yeah, so I started doing melatonin, and it started working. So I was able to fix my sleeping issues, so I can focus more on classes. And so I started doing that, and then I started doing Headspace. Headspace, this is a moment where you do like breathing techniques, and then you can either like sit down or lying down, and you're just doing breathing techniques, and then there's a specific moment in time where you just, you put all of your worries during that time. So it's a 10-minute thing. So maybe like from those 10 minutes, there's like 2 minutes where you just worry, and you just let your mind free and think about anything you want to think, really. So that's what I started doing, and in a way, I programmed my worries for that time. But also, I was still having, that worked for my nighttime. But during the day, that's when it got harder. I was worrying, and then, part of my, my new way of style of, creating new study habits was, I started going to academic coaching with the Learning Center, which is amazing. And they helped me create new study techniques. And my academic coach, Jackie, she's amazing. I always look forward to seeing her. And it's sad every time I can't get an appointment with her, because she's awesome, and she knows my situation, and she already understands what I'm going through. So we would always plan for every week. We plan for the week. Okay, so in the weekend, what are we gonna do? So we're gonna study this. We're gonna do this assignment and this and that, and try to plan for like the whole week and the weekend. And it's great. I love academic coaching, and that's something really important to go. Because if you're like me that doesn't have like really good study habits, that's a place where you can start looking for ways of creating new habits, really. And that worked perfectly. And then I started going to peer-to-peer tutoring, essay sessions, all these tutoring sessions that you can imagine. I was going to all of them, and they started working for one of my science courses. My other science course, not that much, because I understand the material, but the way that the exams were, I wasn't translating that information how it needed to be translated for that exam. And SI sessions, all these tutoring sessions, they work, they really do. It's something, I guess one of the important things about this is use your resources, really. Use them all. Every resource that the university has, just use them, because they are really helpful. And so I was using all these tutoring sessions. I started getting better, creating new study habits, and it does take a lot of your time going to like these tutoring sessions, but it's worth it. The notes that you get from there, the questions that you have do get answered in those sessions, and most of those sessions are one-on-one, so you can ask the tutor, the tutor's in front of you. You can ask them, like, this is what I understand, explain it to me. The SI sessions is more of a group thing, a very small group, not many people go to it, but you can also get those questions answered. But yeah, those started working, but still, emotionally, I wasn't doing very good, and every time I would start declining, even more, every week. Every time I would see my therapist, there was one point in one of our meetings where I just cried. He noticed that I was tired. He really did, and I'm like, I had so much going on. I remembered I studied for an exam. I studied so much, and there was just sleepless nights, really, and it's hard because I was battling with all these stuff, and emotionally, I wasn't really good. And, I was tired because, I'm studying, doing all these things, and not seeing the result. It really hurts. It really does hurt. And in a way, I started to become broken. And it was just exhausting. It was so overwhelming to, do all these things and not see the results. And that was before spring break. And he told me, okay, everything's okay. I told him I was gonna visit my brother. So he was like, that's perfect. Just be over there, relax, enjoy yourself. The week is done and your exams are done, and just focus more on you. Give yourself time, because I was so involved in just my academics that I forgot to treat myself. And that's why I kind of exploded with all these emotions, because I was so overwhelmed. And it's hard. And if you're going through something like this where you just can't, you just feel like overwhelmed, you just feel like you can't breathe, it's important to take your time. Take time for yourself. And that was something that I wasn't doing, taking time for myself. I was just focused in raising my GPA so I can go back into good standing. And in the process, I just lost myself. And when you lost yourself, it affects you academically as well. So it's important to have a balance. And that's why when you're in academic learning, everything gets triggered, because you're like, okay, I gotta do this and that and go here and do all these other stuff. And it's hard. You just don't have the time to do all these things that are required, and sometimes are not required, but you still gotta do them so you can fulfill these other stuff. And and then on the process you forget about yourself. And it's important that for you to continue in this long process, you have to be emotionally stable. And I wasn't. And I'm laughing about this now, but it's the truth. And I guess that's one of the important things. You have to get help, either academically and emotionally. You have to do both things at the same time.
My name is Caitlin Williams. I am 22 years old, and I am currently a second semester junior at Chapel Hill. When I found out I was on academic warning, I remember I was sitting at lunch with Carolina in Lenore, and we pulled it up and we saw we were going to be on academic warning. So we literally ran to academic advising and talked to a lady there, and she was just like, it's going to be okay, this is going to happen. And then when I got the notice a few weeks later, I was like, oh my gosh, this can't happen to me. I graduated my community college with a 3.2 GPA. I was a good student. I did great on classes and exams. I can't believe this is me. And then I got upset and I started crying. I was just like, this can't be real. This isn't happening. And then I got frustrated at myself. Why didn't you study more? Why didn't you go to office hours? Why didn't you talk to the professor? Why didn't you go to mentor sessions? And then I went into a depression, but then I got out of it, and I realized that I wasn't the only one on campus that was in that boat. Being on academic warning, my relationships with my friends were not affected, especially my relationship with my friend Carolina. We were in the same position, so I think we motivate each other every day to do better, be better. It did affect my relationship with professors because I had 2 bad professors last semester, and one of them laughed in my face about a test grade, and I was just like, I'm not going back to professors anymore, they're horrible. But this semester I have pushed myself to go see professors, and I absolutely love all my professors I have this semester. They're great. The first person I told was my best friend Carolina. We were sitting at lunch in Lenore, and I was like, oh my God, I'm on academic warning. And she was like, oh my God. So yeah, but she was very encouraging. Now when I went to go tell my other friends, I wasn't afraid to tell them, but I was afraid of being judged. I was afraid, I'm at Carolina, I'm going to be judged for having a 1.93 GPA. But they didn't judge me. They were very positive, very encouraging. They motivate me to do my best every day. And their reactions made me feel better about the situation that I was in. And I'm glad for their friendships and their positive vibes every single day. Before I told my parents I was on academic warning, I was nervous, very, very nervous, because I'm a first generation student. I'm the only one in my family probably going to college. So I was very nervous to tell them and upset because I didn't want to disappoint them. I've always felt like that if I do bad in school, I'm disappointing my parents. It's a reflection on them. But once I told them, they were very encouraging. They were like, it's okay. One bad semester does not define the rest of your life. It's okay. It's okay to get a C. C makes degrees. It's okay to fail a class, because with that failure, you can succeed later on. So that motivated me for this semester to do the best I can do to come back stronger and make good grades and hopefully a good GPA this semester.
Hi, I'm Hannah, and I am a freshman on academic probation. Last semester I failed 2 classes, and I was also diagnosed with ADHD. I felt ashamed, and not because of anyone else and thinking, oh my gosh, what is everyone going to think of me, but for myself, because I had thought I would do better, I would improve, I would become a great student here at Carolina. But of course, when I discovered that I had failed my classes and I was getting this email telling me I'm on probation, I was like, well, I'm definitely not going to be that top-notch student this year then. I didn't feel like it impacted it at all, and that's definitely not something, it's something that's just different for me, I guess, or individual for me. I had that I don't care attitude. Like, if you know I am or if you don't know I am, it's whatever to me. It's not something I'm ashamed of, because it does not make me less intelligent, and I know this. And it doesn't make you or anyone less intelligent just because you're on academic probation. And if anyone ever makes you feel that way, well then it's ridiculous. But I felt like my friends, I was very lucky, because my friends were very supportive and they helped me get through. Like, they were like, you can do this. They were like, you're gonna be fine. And especially the first people I told, which was my parents and then my boyfriend, and they were like, this is okay, this is your first year in college, you'll do fine. And after telling everyone, I knew I didn't have anything to worry about. And afterwards I was like, I'm so happy that I went and told them, because now I have so much motivation and I have so many supportive people behind me, and I knew that I would not be alone in this. They were the first ones I told, and they're the only ones I would care about their reaction to, because they are my parents and I want to succeed, for them. And I was not worried though, because I knew that they would be supportive of me, and I was right when I told them. They were very supportive. They told me that they would always be there for me if I need anything, and they understood that it was my first year and it's hard, and you're gonna have obstacles and things like this are gonna happen, and you can get through it. They're like, you're intelligent enough, you can do this. And I was not worried, and I felt so great after telling them, and knowing that I have my parents by my side was very great for me. part of this long process, while, you know, I've been going through like all these things, I was doing the bounce back program. I guess that's one of the biggest themes in this whole project is, you know, bounce back program. And this is something that I actually encourage you to go. I really do encourage you to go because it's just amazing. You know, you have this, it's more of the semester thing, but you have one meeting a week, and it's only 1 hour. So it's only 1 hour of your week, and you get to meet people that are in academic learning as well. And I really enjoy it. It's one of my happy places. It's the only time in the week where I don't feel judged at all. I'm surrounded by all these people that have become really good friends of mine, really. And you know, every time I see them around campus, like, hey, how are you? Everything's good. And we talk about, I guess, academic learning. So like, oh, how are your classes going? Like, are you good? You know, you got this. Like, we encourage each other. And, you know, it's a really good program because, you know, besides, you know, socializing with other people that are in the same situation as you, you are learning other resources. You know, you get to learn about all of these resources that the campus offers. And sometimes, you know, we don't know about these resources, and from here you can know about them. And also you get free stuff. But other than that, that group, you know, it's your safe place, really. You know, it's only an hour a week, and it's the only hour where you feel safe, where nobody is superior than you at all. It's, you know, you can just relax. You can just be yourself, really. And you don't have to think about, you know, oh, I'm on academic learning and this person next to me is not. No, we are all equal in this place. And my instructor, Brittany, she's amazing. She's always smiling. Every time I think about bounce back, I always think of her. She's always with this big smile, and I'll be sincere, it actually brings me joy to like see her smiling, because, you know, when you're around campus all day, like for me, Mondays, you know, I have bounce back on Mondays at 6:30 from 7:30. You know, it's kind of like, it's been a long day, I'm tired, and I just feel like, you see me very tired, really, and when I see her face, it just brightens up my night, really. You know, it kind of like encourages me to keep going and, you know, finish all these things that I have to do for tomorrow. And, you know, it's really nice. It's really nice just to be in that space, and, you know, it's a safe place. And I do encourage everybody to go, because, you know, when you're in academic learning, you feel like you're the only one, really. And you're not. You're not. That's something that I learned in Bounce Back. I'm not the only one in this situation. There are many other students that are here too. And you don't have to feel alone. You know, that's why we're here. That's why the Bounce Back program is here, to help you, you know, move along, move forward. And they want you to move forward. They really do. And, you know, it's also a place where whenever you're feeling sad, or you're like, I don't know what to do, that's why they're here, to encourage you. And, you know, if you have any problems or anything, they are the ones that, you know, they can help you or guide you in a way wherever you need to go. And I think it's really nice to have a space like that, and feeling that you're not alone. Because people, like I said, people in academic wording feel like they're lonely, they're alone, and that's, in a way, that's how I felt. But I was, I guess, lucky enough to have my best friend be in academic wording with me. We filled the same class. So that's I guess that's how we kind of became best friends, friends who fill the class stay together. Not really, don't do that, don't fill a class together, please, at least get A's. but if you do, it's an experience, you're not alone, and you can push each other. And I always encourage her, and she encourages me, so it's good to have a friend. But some people don't have that friend. And even though I had her, there's always that feeling that you still feel alone. Because, okay, it's only one person, but, hey, how many students UNC has? A lot. So it's like, oh my gosh. But, you get into the bounce back program, and you're like, whoa, there's more students here. And, it makes you feel better. Because now you're not the only one, it's alright, it's okay, you can move forward. And, the bounce back program, I guess, just go to it, really go to it. And even though, like I said, the bounce back program is amazing.
The bounce back program, in my experience, has been wonderful. I love the program. I love Dave and Melissa that are over it. I love my coach, Ron. And I love the people that come together and meet every week. We all come from different backgrounds, different stories, different GPAs. But in that room, we don't sit and judge each other. We uplift each other. We tell each other, it's okay. It's okay to do bad on a test. It's okay to have a bad semester. We're going to make up for it. We're going to stick together and do it together. And I like that my meeting, we open up with what is your challenges and what's your successes for the week, because it shows me I'm not the only one in this position. And for that, I am very grateful and thankful for the opportunity to be in the Bounce Back program, and hope to be a bigger part of the program in the near future. Being in the Bounce Back program, it has helped me deal with the process. I have been able to accept that I'm not the only one on campus that's in this position. I've learned that I am stronger than I am, and I can do things that I never thought I could do. I can improve my GPA, I can get on the dean's list, I can be a better student. And it has helped me emotionally go through it, because it's helped me realize, it's okay to be upset, it's okay to be depressed, it's okay to be frustrated and mad and happy, sad. It's happy. All these emotions, it's helped me realize it's okay to deal with them, and there are people there to help. I would highly recommend the Bounce Back program for students that are on academic warning or probation. They give you helpful information like academic coaching, academic peer tutoring, the Learning Center, the Writing Center, academic advising, going to talk to your professors. All these different resources that they give you is to help you succeed, whether you realize it or not. And the time you finish it, you have not only upped your GPA, but you've become a better student on Carolina's campus.
If there's any way I could put it, it'd be positive for sure. There has been it's done so much for me, and I've met great people who are also on probation, and they understand what I'm going through. And I mean, it's great to have that there and to be able to talk to someone about it. And also just going every week and having that kind of motivation, and people who care and want to see you succeed, and peers who want to see you succeed, is very inspiring and makes you want to do more. It has definitely made me more productive and more I have more motivation now than what I did before. And I had really bad study skills, but they've gone so much better since I've been in Bounce Back. It's also improved like my social skills, and I'm very introverted and quiet, but this semester has been a drastic change from my last semester. I've made more friends, I'm going out more, and that's really significantly improved my academic success as well. 1,000 times yes, because like I know anyone who's on it are gonna probably be thinking, because this is what I first thought, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh man, it's gonna be like a little kid class, they're gonna tell us how good we are, blah blah blah, baby us. But no, it's not like that at all. It's really great, and you need to go. I mean, if you're even introverted like me, or if you feel, you know, awkward or anything, just go, because everyone there understands and everyone there is supportive of you, no matter who you are. Like when you're in Carolina, you're very intelligent. You are. It doesn't matter what grade you got. That does not define your intelligence. But this program will help you, for sure, have more motivation, have more friends, and just succeed in every way.
I'm Brittany O'Malley. I'm Assistant Director in Student Wellness, and I'm also a Bounce Back instructor. I've been an instructor for Bounce Back for about 2 years. This is my 4th semester teaching Bounce Back. Being a Bounce Back instructor has been really inspiring for me. Most of the work that I do, I get to interact with students maybe one time, sometimes in a large group of 300 students, and so being with the same group of 6 to 10 students every week of a semester for a whole semester is really wonderful. I get to hear their stories, I get to see a different side, I think, than most people get to see of life at Carolina, just because of the stigma there is about academic probation. I don't think that that's out there enough. So getting to hear their stories, what got them there, and also what they want to do differently and move on past that has been exciting for me to see, and really inspiring to see the determination they have. Life. I think life is definitely the biggest factor in all that means. I hear students and their stories, and I think more often than not, it isn't the class that got them there or the multiple classes. It's whatever's happening outside the classroom that's really impacting them. There's a lot that happens while you're in college, and sometimes that confluence of factors can really get you where you are. I don't believe there's ever a time that a student isn't smart enough or good enough to succeed academically. I think just sometimes there's a lot on someone's plate, and then that's what gets them into that room.
I'm Dave DeVito. I'm a clinical social worker at Counseling and Psychological Services, and I help to organize the Bounce Back program. Overwhelmingly rewarding. I really appreciate the opportunity to give back to the campus and to help students who are experiencing academic challenges. It's also been satisfying to hear from students that they find the program to be helpful. When I read the final or the post-group surveys that students fill out, I've learned that students find that it's helpful to be in touch with other students who have the same experiences as they do. And so that's really satisfying. At times, leading a group can be challenging. Group members aren't always ready for the vulnerability that it takes to be in a group, to share and to support one another. And so sometimes that coaching and encouragement can take a lot of energy from me. But ultimately, I find that most groups come together by the end of the 10 or 12 weeks that we meet, and the overwhelming majority of students who complete the group report that it's been helpful. So that's, like I've been saying, satisfying and rewarding. I think for most first-year students, it's about having priorities or setting academics as a top priority. There's so many new things that happen at college, or when you go away to college for the first time, that it can be easy to put a lot of time into socializing or joining clubs. and then academics slowly kind of get out of hand, or students fall behind. And once students get behind, it is harder to then catch up. So maybe you call that time management. I'm also aware that there's a lot of other factors that contribute to academic challenges for students, that students might have crises in their family, or might have health crises or mental health crises. They might have pressure to work to get themselves through school or to support their family, whether that's parents and siblings or perhaps children of their own. And it also comes up that students might not have goals that are consistent with being at college and studying. Their values and goals might be different, and coming to college might be to meet some other expectations, either set up by parents or society at large.
But you're still fighting your inner demons. Like I said, emotionally, even though I have that time in the week where I can be happy, where I don't feel lonely, where I don't feel sad, that was that time. But during class, I would still feel down because I'm taking this science course in this big lecture hall, and from, I don't know, maybe 300 students, there's like up to 300 students, and I'm like, just feel like that one person who's failing the class. And that's when I started to have a panic attack. It was really hard. I've never had panic attacks ever in my life, and it was a really scary thing.
And, I got really scared, and I didn't want anybody to see me being in this position, so I basically I was looking down like this, with my hair in my face, and just putting my hand on my chest and just holding myself, trying not to cry. And it was really hard, and that's when I emailed the therapist, and we talked about it. And I was really nervous because what if this happens again? What if that's when like I said, I've been declining, and that's when I said, okay, it's time to go and talk more about this, see what I can do. And so went to the therapist. We started to look for new techniques. We can solve these panic attacks. Using techniques, and then a week later, I had another panic attack. And started to breathe, and it wasn't working. I got even more nervous, and I was like, because I couldn't control it, so that's why I got more nervous. And
I turned into medication. Of course, you need from a psychiatrist. I did go to a psychiatrist, and he prescribed me, it's more for my anxiety, because my anxiety was getting to, in a way, having anxiety attacks, and I need to concentrate on my classes. If I'm having all these things, I won't be able to succeed. So if you ever need to go to a psychiatrist, therapist, anything really, psychologist, just go. And medication, I'll be sincere, I'm very skeptic about using medication, because side effects and all that. But there's a moment where you just you're like, I need them. And this is not something that I'm gonna have for the rest of my life, but right now I do need it. I do need help to push through. And And yeah, so it is okay to get medication, just for a time. You don't have to do this for a really long time. You know, just talk to your psychiatrist, psychologist, any person that, you know, can help you and guide you in the right direction.
Advice that I would give someone on academic probation or warning is go to the teacher's office hours. Whether you're scared to or not, just go. They will pull out exams and go over exams with you. They will go over the lecture. Any questions you have, go to office hours. That's why they have them. Also, go to academic peer tutoring, academic coaching, visit the Learning Center, visit the Writing Center. They won't judge you at all. Study more. If you have to go to Davis or the UL or sit in the quad, find somewhere good to study that you're able to concentrate. Get tons of sleep. You'll need it to be able to perform well on exams. And go to class. No skipping. Can't have no skippers. And one more advice I would give is get your GPA up. You don't want to be on it no more because they put a hold on your account and you do not want that hold. You want to graduate. You want to get out of here. So get that GPA up.
To be positive, because it's not the end of the world, I promise. It's like, I'm so glad that I was on academic probation because I know that I'm going to come out of it stronger and more confident and even more sociable than when I was. It doesn't just benefit you in academic success, but in all parts of the life. And I just feel like if you just do your best, that's all you have to do. And that's all the advice that I can give to you for academic probation.
Don't give up and be compassionate to yourself. I think it's really easy to think because of all the stigma around academic probation and because it can seem like everyone else here is fine, that there's something wrong with you or that you don't belong or that you're not smart enough. And I would tell any student who's going through that to say, you can do it, you're gonna make it. And also to be really kind to yourself through the process, because if life kind of handed you this situation, you probably need a little bit of love for yourself as well through the experience. So just keep going, you can do it, you're gonna graduate, you're a Tar Heel.
I'd advise students to pay attention to time management straight from the first day of classes or the first week of classes. And to put that into practical terms, I suggest to students that they gather their syllabi together after the first week of class and write down on a master calendar all of their due dates and exam dates so that they know from start to finish what weeks are going to be especially busy, when they'll have 3 exams in 1 week or 3 exams and 2 papers due in 1 week, and then also which weeks are going to be open so they would know when they have an opportunity to start the big papers or start studying for the important exams. And then I'd also encourage students to set goals and establish their ideas or their values, whether it's for the entire undergraduate career or just for the semester, so that they're clear as to why they're at school and what they want to get out of school. I think that can often help to foster motivation and energy during the invariably tough times during a semester when it takes extra effort and energy to get through a week or even get through a night. So those are my two points. Start time management early and really think about why you're here and what you want to get out of being here.
I would say for students on warning to remember that it's scary, but it doesn't have to be scary. You're not at all alone. It's just an opportunity to really take advantage of the resources that are offered to you on campus, and there are so many. Students bounce back from warning and they bounce back really high. They turn into really high achieving, strong Carolina students, and so it really is just an opportunity for growth. It's an opportunity to network and meet people and really take advantage of all the resources here for you.
I just want to let you know that we firmly believe you can do this. It might seem like an insurmountable task, but I always tell my students to focus on little things at a time. My main advice for you is to easy does it, which doesn't really make any sense until you're doing it. So easy does it.
Hey, my name is Jessica, and what I would say to students who are on academic warning is that you could totally get over this. There are so many resources on campus, so many people who care about you and your success. Even if you don't know it and you don't feel it, come seek us out. We're here. Our end goal is to get everyone in Kenan Stadium with their Carolina blue robes on graduation day. You can do it. Go Hills.
I've had the opportunity to work with students on warning this semester and in the past, and really enjoy working with this particular student population. I can really relate to their experiences. When I was an undergraduate student, I was on academic probation for a semester, and so I can kind of understand that there's a lot happening in a student's academic career, but that the students themselves have a lot of strengths and capabilities to really do well. And so it's great to get to talk to students who are in a situation that was similar to my own when I was an undergraduate student, and just talk through what their goals and plans are, and how they can really use their strengths to be able to do well and be really successful.
So yeah, now you know about my experience. Yeah, it was something really hard to talk about, but it was worth it, because if it can help you, then yeah, it is worth it. And also you got to hear about other students as well. Yeah, clearly you are not alone. Yeah, we're here too, and we're pulling through. And also you got to hear about the Bounce Back program and their instructors. Yeah, they're awesome. Now you know what they do. And also undergraduate retention. Yeah, they're here for you also, and they're awesome. And when I was in academic warning, there wasn't a video that told me what to expect through academic warning and what it can do academically and emotionally. So hopefully with my video, now you know what to expect and what to do. And hopefully you don't feel lost anymore. And you know what? You're not alone. You're gonna be able to get through this. You're gonna pull through. I believe in you. And I guess there's only one more thing to say. There is hope.